IELTS vocabulary, understanding and using analogy. Imagine trying to explain how a computer works to someone who's never seen one. You might say it's like a super fast mechanical brain. That, my friends, is an analogy, and it's the word we're exploring today in our IELTS vocabulary lesson. Word type. Analogy is a noun, pronounced nal, meaning an analogy is a comparison between two things, typically for the purpose of explanation or clarification. It's a cognitive process of transferring information or meaning from a particular subject to another. Word history. The term analogy comes from the Greek word analogia, which means proportion. It entered the English language in the 15th century, initially used in mathematics before broadening to its current meaning. Antonyms. While analogy doesn't have direct antonyms, some contrasting concepts include literal interpretation, dissimilarity, and incongruity. Synonyms. Some synonyms for analogy include comparison, parallel, similarity, correspondence, and likeness. Examples used in sentences. Let's look at how we can use analogy in various contexts. The professor used an analogy of a flowing river to explain the concept of electric current to his students. In her IELTS essay, Sarah drew an insightful analogy between the growth of a plant and the development of a child's personality. The coach's analogy of the team as a well-oiled machine helped the players understand their individual roles better. Common errors in use. One common mistake is confusing analogy with metaphor or simile. While they're related, an analogy is typically more extended and used for explanation, whereas metaphors and similes are often shorter and used for poetic effect. Another error is creating false or weak analogies. For instance, saying apples are red, so all fruits must be red is a false analogy that doesn't hold up to scrutiny. To excel in your IELTS exam, remember that using analogies effectively can demonstrate your ability to explain complex ideas clearly and showcase your advanced vocabulary. Practice creating and identifying analogies in your reading and writing to become more comfortable with this powerful linguistic tool. By mastering words like analogy and understanding their nuanced usage, you're well on your way to achieving that coveted band score of 8.0. Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep applying these words in your language practice.